Has anyone in the US ever rented a manual car?
With diesel.
With a diesel. Also, we don't even know what this car is called. If anybody knows what this emblem is, let us know. We have no idea. All right, it's Friday here in Lohéac, France. Got a solid 4 hours of sleep. We've got a lot to do today, but not really a lot to do today. Just photos and probably interviews and getting my new suit and drivetrain meetings and electric car meetings and, you know, just electric stuff. It's gonna be electric day, you know? Wow, that is rad. That is so cool.
DRR have bought them. I know. For all the cars.
Yep. No shit. They look awesome.
Yeah.
And they're all, like, the Olin's, the spring was like so close together, whereas these definitely look a little.
Yeah, it's just softer.
Yeah. How long does the battery last? Yeah.
25. We charge in between every heat.
Yeah.
Like 5-10
yeah.
minutes. It works well. No problem at all.
It looks like it. Yeah, this is a proper setup. Okay.
So I've had only one red light during all the testing. That was the front motor that broke. So it wasn't like electrified the whole car.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just the motor was broken, so we couldn't really tell what it was.
Basically, you put that down,
Yeah.
and that turns the power on. And then in order to do anything, you have to energize it.
Yeah. That
And
one
then-
only turns to 12 volts.
Yeah. And then to get into each gear, you have to hold it down.
No, I press the brake. It's like
Oh, you just can push it?
automatic.
Gotcha. First day here at Lohéac. Yeah, so we just got photos done. We're heading back to the paddock under the OMSC RX2e tents. And it's cool because all of us are under the same tent. So I'll be able to spy on everybody's setups, which is cool because they've all driven these cars and I haven't. Today we're getting 2 whole separate practices, which is gonna be really helpful for me. It's also helpful that I was here in 2018, so I know the track, and we'll just get right to it.
How's the fit? First time in the car.
The fit is good. Yeah, I'll give you a little preview. So, this is my view. You have page selection for the view of the screen, radio to talk to your spotter, start map, which, you know, wet conditions, dry, whatever, it's slippy, wet, you can change it to how much torque the batteries will give the front and rear. And then you have the launch button. So what's interesting is even though this car doesn't have a clutch, a gearbox, or an engine, it still has a launch procedure. Basically, you hold that button, you pull the handbrake back, and you go full throttle. And as soon as that handbrake releases, it'll actually take all the torque that it's been like building up and put it to the tires. So it's actually really interesting. The view of this thing is incredible. It has a lot of different information. When you change maps, it tells you on the screen. These are all the switches. So the power's on right now. Usually if it was off, this would be up. And in order to put the car in race mode, you'll flip this down, the 12 volt battery will come on. And then you click energized, and that's when it gives it the 250 kilowatts. Just like an automatic, push the brake and push whatever you want. And then you have your blowers, your fans, windscreen heater, the emergency stop button, the fire button, windshield wiper clickers here, your little safety belt so your arm doesn't go flying around. But yeah, it's a great view. This is obviously where the battery sits. It's pretty massive, as you can tell, and all the wires. Supposedly everything's waterproof, so that's also really good. Yeah, I'm excited. Seat fits, belts fit, I'm ready to go. It'll be interesting. Hopefully I can just gather it all up really quick. Haven't been in a rallycross car in 3 years, to be honest. Well, since 2018. So I'm excited. It's good to be back. Especially back with a team that I know really well. So I think it's going to be a good weekend. The car's already set up to how we want it, so we'll go out and practice today and see if we need to make any changes, but they say the cars are really, really good how they are, so I'll trust them. All right, day 2. Just got done the first 2 practices. We're sitting pretty well in 5th. We're all still like right within the same time. Cyril went out on brand new tires and got a really quick lap, but now we have new tires. For the first Q, we start pull. We have DeRitter on our outside, and just gonna have to try and keep it as clean as we can through the first turn and come out in front and just kind of run your own race. This track is really one line, so it's really hard to pass here. So I think if we can get out front, hit a really good joker, we should be able to pull this one off.
In P5 with 121 on the screen as his number, try and do exactly the same thing as Christopherson in the World RX21. Away they go with the green light. Here comes Martell, 121, looking to go from the outside. Now the cut in, and look at that from the American. Martell goes from the outside to the inside. 0 to hero into bend 1 and holds that lead into 2 and 3.
What a brilliant launch. Absolutely got the start parameters right, and then had the conviction to pull it off, hanging it around the outside. We've seen some pretty brave drivers do that in the past. We saw Christopherson do it from the middle, but to do it from the outside, that takes some gumption. Great job for Martell. That's exactly what he needs to fight his way back to the front, having received that penalty in Q1.
That is a beautiful start and launch. O'Donovan has already gone for an early joker lap. There you see the Irishman at the back, but it's the American. Martell ahead of Yorkfist, Anderson, Suarez. 1, 2, 3 and 4.
Just got done heat 2. Really awesome start. We started outside and we were able to just get a monster start and go around the outside on everybody in the first turn. We made a few mistakes on the second lap, but we gathered it back together and took the joker last lap and won the race, which is awesome. We finished 3rd overall for times, and yeah, I think without those couple of mistakes, we could have been on the top of the board. All right, guys, so I'm gonna give you a little walk around of the car and this R53 suspension that is brand new on these cars. So this is what they look like now. The old suspension that were on these supercar light cars were Olin's, and we just had a really big problem with getting them set up, getting the balance right. They would bottom out everywhere. It was just really hard for, it wasn't the right suspension for what we were doing. And with this new R53 suspension, it's absolutely game changer. The car feels and drives like a supercar now, which has, you know, almost 12 inches of travel, and it's just absolutely changed the car. It feels incredible. It's quite an interesting suspension setup on these lights cars because they're horizontal instead of vertical. So, little overview of the new suspension, R53. Let's get them on the top step today.
Final of the RX2 Electric Championship, Martell of the United States of America. We're ready to race, the light goes green, and here we go with the big finale. And it is another scintillating start from the young French driver, and it looks like, oh, Dorit is having all kinds of problems now.
Martell up the inside of Callio stage and delivering with such amazing accomplishment. Look at the level of the drivers in this field. Conor Martell, we know how good he is. Into the left-hander towards the end of the lap. Callio really needs to get ahead of Martell, but Martell, of course, still has to do his joker lap.
Delon clearly in front here. Again, starting to draw away from Nitti.
Cars are identical. You just have to change the setup, and Delon is doing an amazing job.
Yeah, Delon is looking very comfortable indeed out in front, and that looks 121 who has taken, that's Conor Martell, who's taking his joker lap through the chicane. Let's see how he comes out, looking to stay ahead of Yorkfist, and it looks like Martell has just done that, so Martell holds on to 5th position, but he's got his joker lap out of the way. Yorkfist down.
Just got done the final, and what a race. We got 5th, started 4th, which is unfortunate, but Yeah, it was just a really tough race. We had a really good start, and we could have gone to the outside of De Ritter on the first, who started second. But overall, it was a really good race, a great weekend. Able to just be in the final and get fifth is, you know, it's great. And I'm super happy to be here. Got a lot of experience with these new electric cars, and it was amazing being able to test the R53 suspension. It has absolutely changed the chassis of these cars. The electric car is just an unbelievable weapon, to be honest. Full power at any time you want, and they rip really well. So I hope to come back and do some more with these guys, but also excited for Nitro, so we'll see what happens. But overall, great day with the OMSE team. Thank you, R53 Suspension, for supporting me this weekend with the car and everything, and we'll get back to the US now and see what happens.